Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we will be covering how to make the realistic lips with the open mouth, like the teeth are visible. So we will work on the teeth part more. So here if you see I have drawn the outer structure of the teeth, and now we will be working on the darkest part first. So the corners of the lip and some part near the bottom part of the teeth we have little darker areas, so I am using a 8B pencil to cover up that darker areas first. Okay, then we will start filling up the area which is just like the inner teeth or the lower teeth are visible from the lips, so we will start filling up that. I am still using 2B pencil to fill that area, and after the 2B pencil I used for shading, then I again will focus on the darker area which are the corners of the teeth, so that the upper teeth are more prominent and they pop up more. Okay, so as I always say, after every round of shading we always blend, because after the blending we get to know whether the intended darkness, whether we have achieved that or not, or we do need to do one more round of it. Okay, so it is very important that after every round of shading we do a round of blending with either with the brush or blender. So now let's start working on the lower lip. So I am still using 2B to give the first layer on the lower areas, and looking at the reference I'm finding out that there are some areas where the highlight is there, so I'm just placing the small blocks to avoid shading on that part, and rest of the areas I am covering. I'm still using 2B for now. Now after one layer of 2B, I will first start blending it to see how much darkness is there, and I will try my best to not cover up the highlights, and if in case by mistake we go with the brush on the highlight, I will again redo it with my pencil eraser. Okay, now this part is almost done, so we will work on creating little more details on the lips. So I'm using 2B and giving the texture on the lips with the help of 2B pencil by making the lines which we see on the lips. This is also important to make, because this when we make these lines or these texture, and that is the only thing which will bring the hyperrealism on the object that we are drawing here, lips. And now after making those lines, those strokes, it is important that we blend them so that it get blended. It should not look like a strong lines drawn. And once we are done with that, we need to work with our pencil eraser around those lines to give that specific texture. Okay, till the time we are done with that, we will make the lower part of the lip to be more darker, so that the outline of the lip get more popped up. So I'm working on that. I'm using 4B right now, so that it is little more darker, since we while shading with the lower lip we have used 2B, and now I want to make it little more darker than in the previous shade, so I'm using 4B right now, 4B, to bring the upper part of the lower lip and the lower part of the lower lip more popped up, as since the lower lip, it should look like it is coming from inside, and that's why below the teeth little darkness is also needed. Okay, once we are done after blending, I'm again giving the texture on the right side of the lip, sorry, the left side of the lip, similar to what we have given in the left side of it, right? So first we will, with the help of 2V, we will give a more textured line, and then using pencil eraser around those lines we will do and follow the same method. Now I think the lower lip is looking nice, and we will be working on the upper lip. So the first layer of shading with H pencil. Okay, so I will give the first layer. You can see I have increased the speed of this video by 2, like it is 2 times, so you can feel that how slow I am working with the shading, and we have to work literally very slow so that only the tip of my pencil touch the paper. And I'm using the normal paper, normal sketchbook that kids use from domes. And so after one layer of H pencil, I have blended it. Now I am using 2B pencil for another layer here. So the lower part of the upper lip, so it needs to be little more darker, because again it is coming from inside. So considering those facts, I'm just darkening up the lower part of my upper lip. And also in the lips or any facial feature, we do not let the outline visible. So to avoid those outline, I'm blending the outline along with the shading that of the upper lip, so that it should not be a sharp outline of the upper lip. Okay, again when we are done, after every layer we will blend. Now let's give little bit of texture. Now since it is a smiling lip, so the texture will not be from inside to up more, it will be more like diagonal lines. So we will make sure these textures are more diagonal lines, and then little bit from inside to up. Okay, so this, when this part is done, we will again blend it more, so that those texture lines will get blended properly. Now it's time for covering the lips. If there is any shade that get into the lips, we will first remove them, and then we'll start working on the gums part. Now for the gums, we will be using first layer, which is H pencil I'm using here, so that the gums are filled properly. And then the upper lip and the gums, there should be a difference visible, and for that I'm again shading the lower part of the upper lip, so that it get differentiated from the gums. Okay, so that little bit of darkness should be there, which like you can, when you do it, you yourself can feel it. If it is not dark enough, then you can do another layer of it on top. Now let's work on the teeth. You can also leave the teeth like this if you like, but since teeth are not exactly white, so, and also have little bit of texture on it, so I'm using H pencil here to give standing lines texture on the lips. And of course the lower lip will also give little shadow on the lips, so the upper part of the teeth will be little darker as compared to the lower part of it. So we will give another layer of shading only at the top part of the teeth. Okay, now again blend it. After every layer we will blend this, and then now it's time for the little highlights. So I started first using my pencil eraser, but unfortunately this pencil eraser was not at all working on the lighter areas, so I switched to the mono zero eraser. With the mono zero eraser I was able to give a proper highlights on the teeth, and it was looking nice to me. I hope you enjoyed the video, and you also like giving like drawing teeth, so you can also do so. And you can also share your artwork with me on WhatsApp. So I keep on correcting. I think every artist can relate to it, so we keep on correcting what we do, and that's the final look. Okay, thank you for watching. Bye bye.